And receiving a standing ovation. I want to play this clip, but first, Republican Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance to address firefighters union in Boston. This was posted at 6 a.m. this morning, and it has aged poorly. Republican VP nominee J.D. Vance is scheduled to address the International Association of Firefighters in Boston on Thursday. Vance is set to speak to the firefighters union at 12:30, which was a few minutes ago in South Boston. Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Tim Walz spoke to the same group Wednesday, and Tim Walz must have left such a good impression that they hate J.D. Vance. To lay the groundwork, I want to show you a minute of what Tim Walz said to them, and just know that this is Fox News. Fox News playing Tim Walz's amazing speech. Leave a like on this video to help boost the message.
Look, I'll keep saying it. Words are cheap. Actions is all you should care about. Make sure you're counting on what was delivered. When Donald Trump was president, he blocked overtime benefits for millions of workers. He opposed efforts to raise the minimum wage, and he even proposed slashing budgets for federal fire service programs. Those are just simply facts.
He's killing
it. It's not just what they've done, it's what they're going to do. This is the big thing. One of the goals of their Project 2025 is to screw the middle class, making it harder for workers to collectively bargain, allowing employers to drastically cut overtime or eliminate it. Slash taxes for the ultra-wealthy by imposing a national sales tax on the rest of us.
Really quickly, could I just say how much I appreciate finally having a Democrat, a mainstream Democrat, who's able to go out there and speak the truth on Fox News. The only other people like that are Pete Buttigieg, Gavin Newsom. I mean, we do have a lot of good Democratic interlocutors, but I think Tim Walz is really rising to the moment. And this brings us to today, when J.D. Vance was speaking to the same exact group, and I guess they are so loyal to Democrats now because Tim Walz killed it, that they booed J.D. Vance.
Well, Simplify, guys. We got some, it sounds like we got some fans and some haters. That's okay.
Some fans and some haters, that's okay. In J.D. Vance's usual uncharismatic salesman, snake salesman-like tone, he tries to play this moment off, and it really just doesn't work. I want to bring you back to Tim Walz.
Look, I've said this. I'm an old-time football coach. If you draw up a playbook, you plan on using it. Project 2025 is a plan to reshape what America looks like, moving away from the middle class and putting it right back on the oligarchs and the wealthy at the top. He said he's going to repeal the Affordable Care Act. That thing is pre-existing conditions. Those are things that make sure that our family gets health care. And for many of our families, and I know you don't get to participate in it, but your families do, my mom does, Social Security and Medicare are life-saving programs for them. Instead of funding those programs, they talk about cutting them. So here, this is what I always say. If you got $1 billion, you don't give a damn if your Social Security check shows up. But if you're like my mom, that's how you pay for your food. That's how you pay for your heat. That's how things get done. So that check, pretty damn important to protect it.
And this comes at a time when we have more leaked clips from J.D. Vance. This is J.D. Vance saying that he supports Donald Trump's Project 2025 plan. He says that, I think what Trump should do is fire every single civil servant and replace them with our people.
I think that what Trump should do, like if I was giving him one piece of advice, fire every single mid-level bureaucrat, every civil servant in the administrative state, replace them with our people. And when the courts, because you will get taken to court, and then when the courts stop you, stand before the country like Andrew Jackson did and say the Chief Justice has made his ruling, now let him enforce it.
The rhetoric that J.D. Vance just used directly mirrors Project 2025, which directly mirrors what Donald Trump already did in his first term. He passed a Schedule F executive order. This Schedule F executive order said that Donald Trump could hire and fire civil servants at will, not based on their qualifications, but based on how loyal they are to Donald Trump, and probably based on how blonde they are. If you guys watched my previous video, I talked about how Donald Trump only hires people who are blonde, no matter if they're qualified or unqualified. Most of the time they are unqualified. But back to this, what J.D. Vance is saying is very real and is very dangerous. Donald Trump wants to tear down, erode the institutions that he thinks are punishing him, and he's going to do that by filling them full of loyalists. And then, if they break the norms for him, he can pardon them in the same way that he's going to pardon the January 6th hostages, or patriots. It's whatever he calls them. Donald Trump has a plan to completely dismantle all of our institutions and pardon the people that helps him. And people on Fox News are running defense. Watch this clip of Jeanine Pirro saying or complaining about Kamala Harris doing a pre-taped interview with CNN, even though this segment appears to be pre-taped. Watch.
It's going to be pre-taped. Why pre-taped? So they can edit it under pressure. Republicans want everything live because we're willing to admit what we're saying and how we're saying it, but not her.
This is coming from the network that only posts pre-taped interviews with Donald Trump and even cut out a segment where Donald Trump stumbles around Epstein's name. You guys know which one I'm talking about, right? Let me know in the comments if you know what I'm referring to. I mean, Donald Trump does call into Fox News every once in a while unscripted, and I do think VP Harris is going to start doing that, but the idea that Donald Trump never does pre-taped interviews, he just did Dr. Phil pre-taped. He has done the Logan Paul podcast pre-taped. He's doing Lex Friedman. He's done MSNBC. He has done OAN, all pre-taped. Everything that Donald Trump does is pre-taped, but Republicans want to project one more time. Let's watch this clip of JD Vance getting booed. It's so beautiful.
Well, Semper Fi, guys. Sounds like we got some fans and some haters. That's okay.
Sounds like we got some fans and some haters. I didn't hear any fans, JD Vance. I did not hear any fans. Quote, firefighters, police officers, construction trades, teachers, and nurses and veterans who contributed their contributions to our nation long after they got out of the military service. It was you who built the middle class, and we know when unions are strong, America is strong, Tim Walz said at his speech to firefighters. And honestly, people like Tim Walz and Kamala Harris give me hope that there are politicians who will fight for the middle class at a time when Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans around him run on widening the wealth gap that we see in America. The IAFF, International Association of Firefighters, is one of the largest labor unions, representing nearly 350,000 firefighters, many who exist in swing states, emergency medical workers, and rescue workers across the United States and Canada. The IAFF endorsed President Joe Biden in 2020, but it has not endorsed either party's candidate this year, but I think we can see the direction they're going in. Their spokesperson said they do not have a timeline for a potential endorsement, but just looking at Tim Walz's speech, I think it's pretty safe to say we know who they're endorsing. Make sure you leave a like on this video, comment a blue heart, hit that subscribe button. A quick note, if you enjoyed my live streams of the DNC and want me to do more content like that, I've opened channel memberships and Patreon memberships. It is very costly and time consuming to do that stuff, but you can help support this independent media environment by supporting me on multiple different platforms. If you can't, no worries. My content will always be free, but I do a weekly bonus show over there once a week if you want to help support these in real life live streams. Peace out.